Okay. Now, here we go again. This is Sunday Satsang. Oh, wait. This is Sunday Satsang, May 25th, 2025. Any questions? There are many great rishis and sadhus and sages came down from Himalayas, or at least Kula Valley, Goa, and other cultural places. Question. Jaya Radhe Shyam. Breast is always full of variety. That's what's fun about it. You go out, okay, I'm going to go sleep. Like, here's my mosquito that I'm all excited about. What this video? It's too hot inside. It's too dangerous outside. Anyway, have fun, mosquitoes. They didn't bite so hard. They were lovingly biting me. Love bites. Question? Now we have a question? How are you guys? Okay, let's have it. Great evidence, huh? Hari Katha on one side, lecture drills on the other side.
What is the influence of patriarchal Indian culture in Gaudiya Vaishnava? Because she's
What is the what?
influence. Patriarchal means like men more important than women.
What?
What is the influence of Indian culture in Gaudiya Vaisnava?
Yes, but this part that man is more important than women. Men are more important than women. Is like this kind
Indian culture. In Indian culture, woman is more important.
No, I mean that like women must be like submitted to the husband, either cannot be unmarried or these things. This kind. And like because
You have another question?
Yep.
is not finished. And because we see in Bhagavad Gita that one of the first teachings is that we are soul and not the body. But she sees in the behavior of many people that is
What's the point?
that in some
Let's die and take brothers and man behind.
in some places women cannot do anything. In some Gaudiya Vaishnava's reality, women cannot do the same things as men. They are not equal. She sees this. And so she asks why this is happening. If in Bhagavad Gita is written that we are soul and not this body, why giving so much importance to the external body? This is what is the question. I don't know if I explained it nice.
Question is asked that the reality of spiritual truth is that every living entity is an Atma. Life means Jiva-Atma. Jiva means life and Atma means spiritual particle of consciousness, part and parcel of God. Bodies are different by gender. We have female and male gender. And there are certain qualities and characteristics of the male and female gender. So a person is asking, why we see in spiritual missions where women and male and female devotees are gathered together serving Krishna side by side. That women are relegated or women are treated differently than men or well,
Some services only men can do.
some services only men can do, like in Vrindavan temple in India, in Vrindavan, there's so many women devotees in the temple, good devotees also, but they can't do arti, they can't do puja inside the temple. They can make cakes. They're good they're good too. They can make cakes and cookies and make flower garlands, all kinds of girly stuff. They can't cook in the kitchen, the kitchen, although they can cook in their special ladies' kitchen. So why is this segregation? First of all, that's India. Overseas, women are cooking and offering arti and dressing deities, doing everything. But India has some old-fashioned rules which have divided society by occupations that women can do and men can't do, and men can do and women can't do. Why isn't there equality in spiritual circles? There should be equality, more equality. I agree with that idea, because there shouldn't be so much lording it over or diminishing the position of women. But it's the nature of man's psychology to conquer and to control. So even though someone becomes a devotee, they saw that swabhava of being, becomes of the male gender, of fighting, conquering, controlling, subduing. So it comes out and they're dealing with lady devotees in the temple. I don't know what the answer to that is. Because in the spiritual world, there's not much separation. Krishna has a whole army of male servants living in the underground. He has a whole army of female servants living in the underground. They all serve Krishna side by side. The girls bathe Krishna, the boys bathe Krishna. The girls dress Krishna, the boys dress Krishna. They're all helping, everyone's working together. So in the spiritual world, this gender duality is not there. But somehow, so I would assume in more enlightened spiritual societies or missions, there may be less division of male and female devotees. Because there are many kinds of missions out there. Some are more Victorian in their outlook and more maybe materially oriented. There's some very progressive spiritual missions which allow the free mixing of men and women devotees and serving together. I'm aware of those missions. So if you're not satisfied, maybe you can find a better arrangement to live in. There are very progressive, we can say liberal-minded spiritual missions with enlightened spiritual leaders which may give provide an environment which is more favorable and friendly for both women and men devotees. So I can't really make a judgment on this. It's not really right or wrong. A lot of it is due to conditioning and social factors and cultural factors. Like in India, ISKCON will be rejected by the mass of people if they have women on the altar in the temples. So no temples of ISKCON in India have women on the altar offering artis because of public acceptance. But in Italy and America and Canada and England, everywhere ladies are doing everything. In fact, if there's no ladies, there wouldn't be any puja at all. All the men are doing them, I don't know, sleeping or something. Can't depend on it or whatever. So this is This is an embarrassing topic, actually. It shows the lack of spiritual development among different missions and leaders to accommodate the universality and the oneness of Atmas, irregardless of gender. So I don't know how much to say about that. I'm a liberal-minded person myself. I see value to certain laws of separation and old-fashioned ways of doing puja and things, because culture has to be respected. But you were saying something about Indian culture, then you dropped that opening, went into something about men and women, so you got me confused there. But ISKCON, as you were talking about ISKCON, or you didn't say ISKCON, you said Gaudiya Vaisnava. Gaudiya Vaisnava is inextricably connected with Indian, what you call Indian culture. What you're saying Indian culture is not Indian culture, it's Goloka culture. Goloka culture, there is separation of sexes, of genders, but in a different level, a different way. It's being done in a different way. You know, the men sit in a certain place, the women sit in a certain place, they gather together. Maharaj sits with his brothers, he doesn't sit with the wives of his brothers. It's obvious when you read the books describing Krishna's family that they observed etiquette of division between men and women. So that's called spiritual culture. So knowing that that's going on in the spiritual world, that's Goloka culture, and it's also reflected in what we call Indian culture. But Gaudiya Vaisnava is not following Indian culture, what everyone's calling Indian culture. It's following Goloka Vrindavan culture. Radharani covers her head with her sari. So some people argue, oh, that's not a Hindu thing, that's from Mughal period. We don't care about Hindu thing. We don't care about Mughal thing. We care about Goloka Vrindavan thing. So some spiritual missions, which I don't know, I think it's old-fashioned now. Some things get
extinct.
They become extinct. But women, look how we got. But the idea of suggesting that women cover their head is not Indian culture, it's Krishna culture. You choose to do it or not, that's your will. But when you read Govinda Vaisnava, thank you. You read about Radharani covering her head with her veil. So, anyway, that's what I was saying. But the good thing is that there are missions that are pretty liberal. Yeah, I was right.
When you're ready.
Oh, you want to hear?
Question, sir.
Oh, yeah.
Does Shastra anywhere support focusing on chanting Radha now?
Not our Shastra. Well, I mean, the question is, obviously everybody that lives over here, comes here, is too crazy about Radharani, which is nice. I feel at home with all you guys. The question is asked, is there any Shastra that supports the concept or the practice of chanting Radha Nam? Well, certainly there's a Shastra that encourages one to chant the name of Radharani, but it's written by Prabodhananda Saraswati. Or you may, if you're in Radha Valva Sampradaya, you say it's written by Hari Vamsh. The book is called Radha Rasa Nidhi, because they claim authorship as Hari Vamsh. We say Prabodhananda Saraswati. That's a bona fide Shastra for Gaudiya Vaishnavism, and in there it talks about the glories and efficacy of chanting the name of Radharani. but also Vrindavan Mahamrita. But our acharyas, our Shiksha Gurus for the entire Gaudiya Sampradaya are mum. They're quiet about the name of Radharani. They don't talk about saying Radharani's name, or do they encourage it. They talk about the Maha Mantra. They quote verses in glorification of the Hari Krishna Maha Mantra. So the official line in philosophy of Gaudiya Siddhanta, Gaudiya Vaisnavism, we chant the Hari Krishna Maha Mantra, and we practice Vaidhi Bhakti, and we chant Hari Krishna Maha Mantra, and we practice sadhana Bhakti with addition of it, deep meditation on Krishna's Asakaya Lila, doing Seva in our Siddhaya. But the backbone of Bhakti is Hari Krishna Maha Mantra. But if one individual he wants to go crazy by Radha Nam, who can stop you? But we want to go crazy. It's good to get the blessings of your guru to go crazy. But maybe he's already crazy, so that's why you're crazy.
That was my opinion.
I know I can touch your brain somehow. You know, you're living in Radha Dham, Vrindavan Dham, Vrindavaneshwara Rani, and you want to chant Radharani's name, who's going to stop you? So you got 12 hours a day you can chant Radha Nam, and 12 hours a day you can chant Krishna Nam. It's nice to always get a question. We get this question every 3 months. The last 10 years. So we're always getting reminded, Radhe, 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 Jaya Sri Radhe, 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 Jaya Sri Radhe. Radhe 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 Radhe
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 Radhe Radhe Radhe
Jai Jai Sri Radhe. So thank you for that reminder. Question. Oh, she's 5 miles away, though.
Sri Vrindavandas Thakur in Chaitanya Bhagavata says that any person who takes the side of a Vaishnava and insults other Vaishnava just because of external differences is the process of worship. In the process of worship is certainly ruined. But so
Yes.
wants to know whether these differences or these characteristics are part of the relative or even conditioned personality of the Vaishnava, or are they conscious choices due to their devotional motivations?
Thank you for the question. The question based on Chaitanya Bhagavata, the same concept is also in Sandarbhas by Jiva Goswami. So it's not a new conception. But he's saying that some devotee, Vaishnava, offends another devotee. It's the cause of that offense. It's the cause of that his conditional nature Or is he personally motivated because of some vendetta or some motivation to diminish the other Vaishnava for some political reason or some institutional reason? What is the cause? I think that's the question. Is that right? The cause is the lack of devotion. It's an aparad, it's an aparad. So speaking ill about a Vaishnava, for whatever the motivation is through your conditional nature or it's a premeditated act to effect a political or behavioral change in a devotee by discouraging them from another Vaishnava, by vilifying or putting down that Vaishnava. However you come about doing it, it's a defect, it's not broad. It will block your spiritual advancement, maybe over many lifetimes. Not only one lifetime, many lifetimes. The most serious offense is to offend a Vaishnava. It's best to keep quiet. You know, if somebody asks you about some Vaishnava, we have a phrase in America, if you can't say something good about someone, don't say anything at all. So that's a good rule for devotees also. You can't say something good about this guru or this Vaishnava, then keep quiet. What do you think about so-and-so? He's preaching this and this. I don't really know that person. I can't comment. There's no law that you have to answer somebody's question. There's no law that you have to stick your foot in your mouth. There's no law that says you have to stick your foot in your mouth. So to offend a Vaishnava is cutting off your own head. What do you gain? You gain nothing. Like a lot of times I ask some students, when I ask them a question, they say no comment. They take the Fifth Amendment. The Fifth Amendment of the Constitution of America, individual reserves the right not to speak. So my disciples often take the Fifth Amendment. I ask them philosophical questions. They say, take the Fifth Amendment. I reserve the right not to comment. But you're not American. You're Indian. No, you're American. Oh, okay. Because I don't have any American disciples. So they always say no comment. When it comes to your time for death, and Krishna asks him, say, look, your disciple Krishnadas is dying. Should I liberate him or not?
No comment.
At that time I said, well, I always tell them what they always told me, no comment. You figure it out, Krishna. Whole life I ask you questions about philosophy and tattva, no comment. Now you're dying. And I'm sitting next to Krishna in the spiritual world. This is your guy. This is your Krishnadas. Should I liberate? You want to liberate him or not?
No comment.
Could I hear this a lot from my disciples? I said, okay, I'll remember that one. So think twice before you say no comment. It might come back at you. What goes around, comes around. Question. Internet.
You only see Gurudev.
Okay.
First and fourth, sir. First and fourth are same.
The question is asked. These are a little bit painful kind of questions, though, you see. I don't know why, but it seems the atmosphere of the world now is full of pain.
Yes, Gurudev. That's why.
Because so many people are being tortured and murdered, children, mothers, babies. So that this pain, this cloud of pain and misery is kind of seeping in everybody's mind. It's shaping the questions. The questions are all painful. A lot of these questions I hear, and it really pinches my heart. Anyway, it's very hard to distribute love in an atmosphere of pain and misery. It's hard to distribute that commodity. Everybody's suffering in misery and being full of pain. It's very difficult to distribute love. The question is, there's many people in the world who believe Srila Prabhupada can still give Diksha. Is this simply a question of someone's qualification in this life? Their qualification does not allow them to find a living guru in this life, or is it a total deviation, not beneficial? There's not one answer for this question. It's a combination of factors. But with the word deviation, I can't accept this deviation, because any type of connection with a sadhana siddha or a siddha Vaishnava is beneficial. Because there's verses in Padma Puran, if you simply remember a great Vaishnava, you would get 1/6 of their punya. You simply think of Srila Prabhupada, or remember Srila Prabhupada, or say Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Then 1/6 of his religious merit, his purity, and his God consciousness comes inside of me. So someone who wants to follow that idea of taking Diksha from Prabhupada, if that's all they can see in the world, if that's all they believe in the world, that's all they want in the world, that's good. As far as it being Shastric, or as far as it being the teaching of the Goswamis, it's not found in Shastra. It's not the teaching of the 6 Goswamis. But so it's not this world, especially in transcendental reality, it's never black and white. It's rainbow. The infrared on one side, the ultraviolet on the other side. And all many shades in between. But we have to find out, first of all, is it good? It's always good. It's always good when you're connecting a jiva with a siddha saint. Any way you're connecting, it's a good thing. Srila Prabhupada is a siddha, Mahapurush, siddha saint, Prema Bhakta, eating Goloka Vrindavan Krishna. And somebody wants to get connected with him, that's going to be beneficial. In this life or next life, it'll be good. If that's the only opportunity they can hold on to, that's it. You know, there's different kinds of ways to get saved in drowning in the ocean. Somebody can throw you a football. You can hold on to a football and keep from drowning. Or somebody can come with a rowboat, pull you inside the rowboat. Somebody can come with a helicopter and take you right out. Any way you can get free from drowning is successful. So any connection with a saintly person will keep you from drowning in some sort. So I don't think this person is unfortunate. I don't believe it's a deviation. But it's not the teachings of the Vedanta. It's not the teachings of Mahabharata. It's not the teachings of Ramayana. It's not the teachings of Krishna, Ram, or Vishnu. They all for teaching, accept the Guru, surrender to a living Guru, take mantra diksha, process of diksha vidhan, the ceremony of taking diksha should be observed. So there's many things to consider in answering this question. It's good, but it's not the best thing. You think, right?
Yes.
I don't see it. Good.
That is first one. So, that is not. Fourth one. It is more clear. Same question.
Mhm.
That's same question, Guru. You want to check it once?
Same.
Yeah. You answered it.
Yeah. Now what?
Before it is there one more question. I will ask. Radhe Radhe Maharaj, once I heard from you saying that to accept the service of every liberated soul, Krishna and his associates expand. Is my understanding clear? If yes, then can you please give any reference for this statement?
For every liberated soul, there is one Krishna
And his associates. Is my understanding clear? If yes, then can you please give me any reference for this statement?
The question is asked that Krishna expands into one form for every liberated soul. This is explained in the Bhagavatam, 3rd Canto, chapter 15, verse 14. You know that verse? Sarva Vaikuntha Murti. I think I have the verse here. It's in the Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd Canto. Third Canto, Bhagavatam, chapter 15, verse 14. And also in the commentary of Priti Sandarbha by Sri Jiva Goswami, verse 20. It starts off, Vasanti Yatra Purusha Sarva Vaikuntha Murti. The verse describes that Vishnu or Krishna expands into unlimited spiritual bodies in the spiritual world. And with each of those spiritual forms or bodies, Krishna engages in pastime. So that means for every spiritual body, there's one Krishna engaging in pastime. So that's the answer.
The Bhagavatam also, Narada Muni visits different places. That also can be quote, like he goes to different.
Well, he's asking about this question about Krishna enjoying pastime for each liberated soul, right?
Yeah, yes.
You're asking about liberated soul expanding body a number of times.
Yeah. Narada Muni sees that Krishna, Uddhava, everyone is there enjoying with.
But that illustrates a different point. The 1,020 rupees type of thing. Well, the guy, a good thing. You have to get a good translation of the verse also with good commentaries. I went through it with my guru also. Because it's not very clear in some translation.
Another question, Gurudev.
Yeah.
Maharaj, in the path of yoga, a sadhaka tries to control the senses through personal effort by practices like yama, niyama, asana, pranayama and meditation. On the other side, in the path of bhakti, Krishna seems to want us to be completely dependent on him and be surrendered to him. Why is that so? And continuation of that, he is saying, doesn't this surrender make us weak or incapable of standing on our own? If we give up our independence, how is that considered a strength? How it is not?
Two different questions there.
Yeah, means he's trying to compare bhakti and yoga.
I should give me a gist, summarize it, tell me what's the question.
The question he's asking is like, by surrendering we will become weak. We are not standing on our own. We are becoming weak by surrendering ourselves. So please answer on that.
How bhakti is giving strength?
Let me see. Okay, this is a good question. I can understand it. The idea is, question is, on the path of bhakti yoga, you do your own thing and try to control your senses. On the path of bhakti, you depend on the kripa, mercy, and blessing of Guru and Krishna to give you strength to control your senses. And you have to get this idea of surrender means you give up your independence. First of all, independence is a joke. You give up your independence, you don't have any independence to give up. First, give up your ignorance. It's total foolishness to say I'm independent. That's the first one. You get paralyzed in 1 minute from now, you can't do anything. So we're dependent every second, every breath. We're dependent on Devatas and Paramatma and the will of Krishna. And our destiny to even live another second. Independence is the greatest illusion in the whole world. So your premise on independence is totally wrong. Bhakti, there's two things in bhakti. There's dependence on Krishna and personal initiative and effort. Krishna everywhere, every acharya says you have to endeavor to control your senses. But we don't control our senses. We use our senses to serve Krishna. That's the difference. When we use our senses to serve Krishna, then Krishna becomes pleased and gives us the power to control our senses. So the devotee is not alone. He's walking and holding the hands of Krishna. On the path of yoga, you're walking alone, not holding anyone's hand. Your hands are doing yoga mudras. Your hands are doing yoga mudras. But in bhakti, we hold hands with Krishna. So we get strength from Krishna, strength from Guru. And we don't worry about controlling our senses, we worry about engaging our senses in Krishna's service. Is Krishna happy with what I'm doing with my senses right now? Is Krishna pleased? We draw everything to Krishna, and He does the rest. We always stay connected with Krishna, then our success is guaranteed. First thing we do, we give our foolish idea of independence. That's why we have to surrender. That's why surrender means what? Giving up independence. Animals running free, he's running all over the place crazy. A whole wild horse. You put a rope around him and a saddle on his back and you tame him, he becomes your pony, becomes your horse. You surrender. So we're wild like crazy, you have all kinds of ideas. I'm a yogi, I'm independent, I'm controlling his energy. It's a grand illusion, it's a big joke. Tomorrow you become paralyzed, you can't stand on your head. You can't do anything. So then where's all your independence? You get in an auto accident, you're paralyzed, you're neck down. Where's your independence? So we declare our dependence on Krishna and try to cooperate with Him and become His friend. And if He's our friend, He'll help us through life and fill us with joy and happiness if we serve Him. You guys say you have a question over there? Yeah, Paula?
Yes. Prema control the devotee. It's not the devotee control prema. So, a devotee is really prema. It's possible don't act in prema.
Prema controls the devotee.
Prema control the devotee.
Yeah.
It's not the devotee control prema. If one devotee is really in prema, it's possible don't act in prema. Act. Don't act in prema.
If a devotee is really in prema, is it possible that he acts as if he is not in prema?
Okay, because it's not controllable. One cannot control prema within him. That's the
Question is asked, if a devotee attains perfection in Bhakti Bhajan, attains the level of Prema Bhakti, is it possible that
he can hide his prema inside.
Yes.
Because
To act as a conditioned soul.
he can act as if he is foolish, although he is happy. That means he is somehow controlling.
Prema Bhakti is indescribable? Because it's the first verse, the
Third canto of Bhagavad Gita.
no, the 111th canto, Evam Patas Sapi,
Kriyanama Kirtan.
Evam Patas Sapi, Nama Kirtan.
Asati Rodati.
You guys know it. I'll read about someone in prema. You can see it if you're like that. This is a very famous verse, 11th canto. It's quoted twice in Chaitanya Charitamrita, in spite of the Avyogendras. My Guru Maharaj said this is the best definition of prema in the Bhagavatam. 11th canto, Bhagavatam, chapter 2, verse 40. This is the best definition of prema. What happens to one in prema? Evam vratasva priyanama kirtya Jadana Rago Juta Chityaviche Satyata Roda Ziroti Gayat Yanmadavan Nishati Lokabaya. When one comes to prema, he takes a vow to sing and chant his favorite name of Krishna. Because he is Anuragi Prema Bhakta, his chitta is melted, his consciousness melts, his heart melts. Sometimes he yells out, Uche. Sometimes he laughs, or he or she laughs. Sometimes they cry. Sometimes they become agitated and start singing. Sometimes they go mad. Completely mad, unmaldavan. They start dancing. They don't give a damn about anybody else. Lokabaya. Lokabaya. Baya means we're far away from everybody else's idea or opinion. This is like his nice commentary. Well, here's the commentary translation of the verse. Vishak is a very nice example to illustrate the ecstatic laughing and other sins of praying. Here Prema Bhakta is speaking. Oh, that thief, that chore, Krishna, Yashodanandan, has entered my house and he comes to steal my fresh butter. Grab him, keep him away. Hearing these menacing words, of the old lady Gopi Jarati, Krishna immediately runs out of the house. The devotee who sees his pastime in praying sporty suddenly laughs in ecstasy. But losing the vision of Krishna, he starts crying in great lamentation. Oh, I had the greatest fortune in the world. But suddenly Krishna slipped from my hand. Then the devotee cries loudly, so Krishna, where are you? Give me an answer. Krishna answers, my dear devotee, I hear your loud crying. I come again before you. Upon seeing Krishna reappear again, the devotee begins to sing, today my life has become perfect. Thus overwhelmed with bliss, that devotee dances like a crazy man. The phrase in line 2, Juta Chitta, Vishnu says, it means melted heart. The heart melts because of anxiety to see Krishna. So that shows that guys go crazy when they get praying. Do all kinds of crazy stuff. So don't do it here. Parvati, watch out for this guy. Question. Wow.
Why we offer honey to Giriraj?
Who said that?
Question.
Why are you ever?
Honey to Giriraj.
Somebody asked me a question, it's not very philosophical. Why do we offer honey to Giriraj? So I answer that question with a question. Why not? Because he's Madhurya Purushottam. Madhurya means honey, Madhur means honey. So he's the supreme person of honey. Uta means supreme, Purush means person, and Madhur means honey. He's the supreme personality of honey Godhead. Madhurya Purushottam means the honey Godhead. So if you're not offering honey, you're a Maya. Right? So how do you extra bring it here? Jaya Jaya Sri Radhe, Radha Kunda Bhagavan Sri Krishna ki Jai. So that was really crazy question. That guy must be a crazy person. He had a great, he didn't drink too much, huh? Yeah, crazy question. Why not? Right? I mean, you know, guy bathes in honey. He bathes in honey, he drinks honey. He celebrates his birthday with a honey bath. Some people give a honey bath every day. Every year, a milk bath. All the princesses and queens in the Middle Ages said toast of milk, full fat milk. It's very good. So Giriraj gets paid every day milk and yogurt and ghee and honey and mystery honey. That's a good standard. Eat honey, bathe in honey. Another question. Okay, I got a speaker coming out here right here.
Being a pure devotee is same as being in prem.
No. The question is being a pure devotee the same as being in prema? There's so many, the answer is no. The pure meaning is, prema bhakti is one thing, bhava bhakti is one thing, prakriti bhakti is one thing, kanishta bhakti is one thing, madhyam bhakti, madhyam kanishta bhakti, madhyam uttam bhakti. There's many categories, levels of bhakti. And there's like there's so many levels of pure devotees. But prema is all different categories. The one is following his guru and following all the regular principles, doing bhajan and living his life exactly according to the teaching of the Guru, Shastra, and Sadhana. That's a pure devotee. He's a pure, he or she is a pure devotee. So when you read Prabhupada's books, he said, one should be careful of taking initiation from a pure devotee. So now we have to ask Prabhupada, what do you mean by pure devotee? Because Prabhupada also said, all my disciples are pure devotees. So it's a very difficult word to define. Prema is very clear to define. Prema means prema bhakti, there's a definition of prema bhakti, and symptoms of prema bhakti. Pure is not a very definitive, clear word. It's a very tricky thing. It says one should take initiation from a pure devotee, one should be a pure devotee. So the question was a pure devotee. Is a pure devotee prema bhakti? Prema bhakti is a pure devotee. Purest. Like you're 100% pure as prema. You read about the economy, this is defined. It describes the different degrees of perfection. 100% Krishna Bhakti, 100% Krishna, 5% Maya. This is described in Badrika Damani. So 99% pure devotee. 78%, 55%. Any other question? Shri Krishna.
Could you describe Radha's ornaments for us?
Radha's ornaments. What are Radha's ornaments? Radha's ornaments are all Krishna's bhavas. It's called Bhava Lankar. All different ways that Krishna loves Radharani. That's ornaments Radharani. Her bracelet, Radharani's. Krishna's embraces are Radharani's waist belts. Well, I don't know what to say. The ornaments are described in the reason when they describe dressing. She has, 16 ornaments or something like that. She has nose ring, earrings hanging on the bottom of her ears, earrings on top of her ears. She has choker. She has a pearl necklace. She has different necklaces. Many different necklaces, choker, and nose pearl, earrings here, and earrings up here. On top. She has armlets. She has bracelets. She has 7 rings on her fingers.
Yes, Guru.
8.
7, 3 are not.
No, 7. 5 on the left,
11 and 2.
2 on the right. And she has so many necklaces. She has waist belts. And she has latika, row of pearls that goes across her part and down her hair part. And she has a tiara, she has a little crown.
Chandrika.
She has ornaments in her hair, in her braids, she has different ornaments in her hair. Just check out Indian wedding. And she has anklets and ankle belts and toe rings. The Mangala Sutra is an auspicious kind of thing hangs around the neck. Yeah, that's this current Indian jewelry store. They are a whole wedding setup. That's what I can remember. You want to add to that? You want to add to that?
No, I was just enjoying it. I was just picturing it.
Okay, that's fine.
Completely impractical.
That's cool. That's your way to go. You got a question?
When Sanatana Goswami is there, he gets Madan Gopalji. And when Madan Gopalji asks for salt in his preparations, Sanatana Goswami rebukes him. Is it just externally or is it like why? Is it just external way of showing he rebukes?
What?
Does Sanatana Goswami rebuke Madan Gopalji externally?
It's about Sanatana Goswami. Gopal is Gopal. Sanatana Goswami discovered a deity in Vrindavan, and then he did discover it. He got the deity from Brahman Mathura, Madan Gopal, who was sometimes called Madan Mohan. He was worshipping him, but he worshipped him with flour, wheat flour, made into a ball and cooked in some dry sticks with a fire. It's called bhati. So Madan Gopal asked Sanatana Goswami for some salt, because burned dried bread tastes better with salt. Burned dried bread is okay without salt, but it goes down a lot easier with salt. So at that time, Sanatana Goswami said, he didn't rebuke him, first of all.
I don't know the word for
He didn't chastise him. He said, look, Gopal, you're God, Gopal. He said, Gopal, I don't have salt. I'm a beggar, and salt is very costly. 500 years ago, salt was very rare. It was very hard, it wasn't a really common thing. It was very costly. And I'm a beggar. I'd go to the house of Vishwasis. I bake flour. Why do I bake flour? Because all Vishwasis have fields. Even the Brahmins in the town, they all own so many acres of land. They have farmers there, Maoris and farmers growing wheat, game. So every Vishwasi house has a big can of 500 kilos of flour in the house. This is the rule. Every single house. So if I bake a handful of flour every day, no Vishwasi will have the difficulty. So I start asking for salt, that they become unhappy because they don't have that much salt, they have very little salt. So I'm sorry I can't give you salt, just be happy with your budget. That's what happened. So then Madan Gopal says, okay. So then a big boat came from Himalayas with a bunch of Himalayan pink salt. And it's stuck on a sandbar right next to Madan Gopal Hill. And Mr. Kapoor wanted to get his salt down to Agra to sell to make a big profit. But Gopal wasn't letting that salt get out of hand. I got a whole boatload of salt. Behold my missing ambulance. So the Mr. Kapoor went to San Goswami. It says, can you have power, can you help me get this load of salt? He said, no, I don't think so. My Tiger wants salt. But you can ask him what he said. So Madan Gopal cut a deal with Mr. Kapoor. So I'll let your boat go. If you build me a temple, make sure I get salt in every meal. So Kapoor said, okay. So Kapoor went and sold the salt, built a big temple for Madan Gopal, made sure I got lots of salt in every meal. What's your question? Okay. He just daydreaming. Okay, go and eat. Be happy. Any question? No more questions? Any that question?
Time is also.
What time? Oh, good. Jaya Jaya Sri Radhe.